Picture this. You're a full-grown man, and for some reason you've spent your hard-earned money on shark cards. You go to boot up GTA Online and you're greeted with this screen. You're told you have to verify your age with your license and photo proof ID that you are who you say you are in order to play GTA Online. You want to talk to your friends about this, but when you open Discord, you're greeted with the same message. Now, all alone, you just want to escape this new reality by turning on Spotify and listening to music, but there it is again. ID verification required. You're locked out of the world unless you hand over your personal information. Does this sound like the world-famous 1984 yet? Rockstar is implementing ID requirements for GTA Online. This was found by Tez2. You can see all of the references to age verification here. If you pause it now, you can read what it says. These things are not yet in effect, but will likely be added very soon. Also, Tez says it will probably come out one region at a time. UK is probably the first on the list. GTA Online is going to be a ghost town now. Hey, maybe this will kill the shark card revenue and encourage Rockstar to think of better monetization methods for GTA 6 Online.
You serious?
So now that these kids have been kicked off of GTA Online, they have a whole lot more free time. What better way to use that time than to actually learn something? The best place to learn is Brilliant, this video's sponsor. Brilliant is an interactive learning platform that turns tricky subjects like math and science into short lessons that actually teach you something without any boring lectures. They have a bunch of courses that you can explore at your own pace, and they keep expanding the course catalog. Learn about digital circuits, solving equations, logic, or even how AI works, all from an app on your phone. Brilliant helps build your critical thinking skills through problem solving, not memorizing. So while you're building real knowledge on specific topics, you'll also be becoming a better thinker. Brilliant makes learning as addictive as gaming without the age restriction. To learn for free on Brilliant, go to the link on screen now, scan the QR code on screen, or click on the link in the description. Brilliant's also giving my viewers 20% off an annual premium subscription, which gives you unlimited daily access to everything on Brilliant. Thank you, Brilliant, for sponsoring this video, and please check them out if you guys are interested. This is all due to the UK's Online Safety Act, which requires online services of any kind to require their users to prove they're adults before accessing anything that they deem unsafe. In GTA Online's case, they may be gatekeeping GTA Online in its entirety because it has things like the gambling mechanics like the spinning diamond casino wheel, violence like shooting, strip clubs, unmoderated player-to-player interaction, or microtransactions like shark cards. It could be too that this isn't just a blanket lockout from access to online, because the code mentions accessing specific features like phone messages or Snapmatic. They may just make it so you need to verify your age before getting access to specific features that only involve the player-to-player interaction elements, but you still maintain access to GTA Online as a whole. Take-Two and EA are about to lose their main source of income.
Access denied.
Rockstar makes terrible decisions in a lot of cases, but this isn't really one of them. If anything, I think they'd want to avoid implementing this into the game, because most of their player base is younger, and this requirement is basically them shooting themselves in the foot. Remember when they gave GTA 5 away for free to PC Epic players, the majority of which only had Epic Launcher to play Fortnite? In this case, Rockstar's only complying with the law like these other services, Discord and Spotify. But if they started doing this in regions or countries where it isn't even required, then it'd be extremely idiotic on their part. It's also worth noting that it's likely not Rockstar that would keep the information on you, like your ID. It'd probably be a third-party app, which is just as vulnerable to attack. But Rockstar would probably just get a green or a red light from that third-party app to see if access was granted. The UK's claim is that these steps are being taken to protect children from online content. This completely ignores the fact that protecting children from online content is entirely the duty of the parents. The government is not daddy. The government is not Big Brother. We're heading closer and closer to the world depicted in 1984, written by George Orwell. The world in this book was dystopian. There was no privacy. Citizens were monitored in their bedrooms, on the streets, and at work. The only place you could go against the government or the party was in your own head, and even then, they watched your facial expressions, monitored your reactions, and forced you to agree with Big Brother. This law takes away adults' rights. It's just a fact. Now adults have to go through a monitoring process and give up their personal information to enjoy products they've already purchased. If you just bought a $20 shark card, then you get onto GTA Online the next day to spend the GTA cash, but you're locked out unless you perform some new requirement, you're essentially being robbed. If I bought a game and game currency under certain terms, nobody should be allowed to change the terms after getting my money and revoke my access. If terms change after my purchase was made, money should be refunded if I don't agree to those new terms. The only good news here is that there'll likely be less Mark IIs flying around in the sky. The bad news is pretty much everything else. This further exposes the bigger problem I have with these online-only games, or with games never actually being owned by you. Purchased games on Steam, Xbox, or PlayStation are not games that you own. They're licenses that you're granted access to. If one day the government decides that you need to produce an ID to access your own game library, what will you do? Would you be okay with the government walking into your living room and requiring you to produce your ID before watching a movie you own or reading a book from your own bookshelf? All of this could one day be framed as a mission to protect the children, too. When you give an inch, they will take a mile. If you're thinking to yourself, I'm not doing anything wrong, so why would I care? I'll just give my ID. Privacy is what's at stake here. You're doing nothing wrong, so what? Privacy is not just a reward for innocence. Privacy is a right. Systems get breached and misused, and we have the right to not fall victim to these misuses. We've seen this plenty of times in the past. If you think these are just age checks, no big deal. Today's age checks become tomorrow's always-on camera-required apps for playing a game or watching a movie. I don't want to be watched by some omnipresence that dictates whether or not I'm permitted to view content. If you're pleading with people to think of the children, great. Target stores who sell these games. Require IDs for mature-rated games, which has always been the case, and leave it to the parents to either allow or prevent their kids from getting these games. The answer is definitely not, hey, let's collect millions and millions of adults' IDs. If you think, my data and everyone else's data is already leaked and out there, so what do I care? Even if you don't care about your privacy, you should still care that they're gatekeeping your content from you. And unless you give a little personal info, you don't get to talk to your friends on Discord, play games, or listen to music. Today, it's your ID. Who knows what the government will require in the future in order for you to access your own purchased content? Does this actually protect kids? To a degree, yes. Now kids don't have easy access to GTA Online and its many horrible elements that definitely weren't designed with kids in mind. Horrible things like futuristic flying vehicles, the Rocket League-styled gameplay, the colorful racing maps and game modes, the orbital cannon, Tron bikes, and gravity guns. You know, the kind of stuff that kids should never play. In all seriousness, although it's meant to protect kids, and I know some people think that at any cost, no matter how great, would be a price worth paying in order to achieve that outcome, they're not realizing that it's the parents' duty to protect their kids. And that this UK law is not just designed to protect kids, it's also designed to gain control. It's a step towards losing our last true sanctuary of freedom, the internet. It's also a pretty short-sighted law. I'm sure you guys have already seen the ID verifications getting bypassed by Death Stranding. The bypassing methods like VPNs, fake IDs, or even real IDs that don't belong to the person using them, that will all become common practice. What if a nefarious person uses an ID that he found on the dark web? What if he consumes illegal content with that ID as their registered ID? Now that person who had their ID stolen will also now have Big Brother at their door asking about the sites that they visited, even though they never visited those sites. And how would he prove that? In GTA Online's case, it's most likely that kids will now just ask their parents to use their ID or steal it to confirm the age. If they even go that far, because most kids will find a workaround like VPNs. In the end, it comes down to this simple question. Whose job is it to parent? The government or the parents? Here's a small hint. The answer is literally in the name of the action. Parenting is for parents to do. Tell Big Brother to kick rocks. Use a VPN.
In order to turn on your Xbox to check out FIFA or look at Game Pass or anything, you have to scan your face.
We do not need to provide these companies with our government IDs, selfie biometric data, and whatnot to do this. It is ridiculous.